Excited for having these guys back in studio. Bo and Gabe are here. Bodittle, Gabe, what's up, guys?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Too much.
I promised the audience that you would bring fun stories that will anger and infuse them.
You know, that is true, but it's funny because in order to keep up with all the fun stories, I almost have to be in here every single day.
I know, dude.
So we could talk for 2 hours and we'll still forget stuff.
Well, let's see what we can get to. Let's start with an Eastern Tennessee man whose home was raided by the FBI, and how you know this individual.
Yeah, so I actually got tipped off yesterday. This happened last week, I believe. But I got tipped off by some local activists, conservative activists in Knoxville, and they texted me and said, "Did you see this?" And I click on it, and I was like, "Wow, he looks really familiar." And so long story short, for the people that aren't too familiar, this is an Eastern Tennessee man who was raided by the FBI. His phone was taken after they caught him in the act of sexually exploiting children using Kik and Snapchat.
I got his picture on the screen real quick so you can just see how this individual looks. He doesn't look like the type of guy you'd want to.
Usual suspect. I mean, you look at these people, they have a look, okay? And I'm stereotyping, but I'm stereotyping pedophiles. So I think it's, it's not like it's people are going to get mad at that.
So you get tipped off. This guy gets raided. Joseph Brandon is his name. He was in court Thursday, accused of agreeing with a Michigan man to sexually exploit a girl online for child sexual abuse material.
Yeah,
It's disgusting. It's vile. This guy, wood chipper feet first would be what I would vote for if we were taking votes. But this is awful. How do you know him? How did you know him before?
So this was Christmas drag. It was a Christmas drag show 2 years ago. It was in a auditorium. I can't remember.
A Christmas drag show?
Yeah, it's because children were allowed. That's why there was conservative uproar. So I saw it online, and children were allowed to go inside of the auditorium.
For the Christmas drag show.
For the Christmas drag show. So I went to record it outside, and there was basically a protest. You had the liberals that were agreeing that wanted to just be aggressive outside on one side of the road, and then you had conservatives on the other side of the road. Well, you know me, I love my conservative friends, but I wasn't on that side of the road. I was on the liberal side trying to get interviews. And so I would go up to him to talk to him, and he starts calling me the usual vocabulary words. Fascist, Nazi, screaming at me, get out of here. And it's just funny because his shirt says, "I stand with the LGBT community." And, now he's going to be in jail for hopefully the rest of his life. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, these individuals never spend enough time in prison.
It is very ironic. The ones that do the worst get 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
And then the ones that don't do as bad, maybe I shouldn't say that, but they get life. You know what I mean?
I would argue, and maybe I'm crazy for saying this, but you should have a longer sentence for abusing children than you should for killing someone. And that's just me, because you could have some sort of reason. It could be self-defense, and the courts get you wrong. There's no self-defense scenario where you're abusing a child.
You're absolutely right.
Every single time, you should be getting the maximum sentence for child abuse. If you kill someone, I honestly think that, it's not as bad, because I would rather, someone stab me than abuse my child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I would take that too.
Liberals are going to take that and clip it and call you crazy.
They can clip it all they want.
Be like conservative pundits think that killing someone shouldn't get life in prison.
Well, no, I still think that, you should. But I'm just saying that there's a lot more nuance with killing.
I think that you could make the argument that death penalty is warranted here.
Yeah, no,
because of especially statistically, what happens to individuals that are abused as children and the likelihood of them becoming abusers into adulthood.
Absolutely.
So you can make the case by letting these people free and offend again. You're actually rippling that effect out.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt so many more people.
Oh, and offenders always offend more than once. I mean, you'll never see them do it just one time, go to jail, and then be a clean, squeaky clean person.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If the FBI is investigating you, it's not, we got lucky, this is his first time. The way that the article read, he was a repeat offender that was doing it quite a bit. So much that the FBI got involved and just so happened to catch him in the action.
Do you think a lot of these people use like I'm sure that there are some people in the LGBT audience that are genuine and they think they're doing the right thing. But I think that there's some individuals that use that agenda for cover.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, also look at the statistics. A lot of the people that just so happen to end up in the LGBT community, it happens due to molestation.
Yeah.
And then you have the transgenderism suicide rate at an all-time high. The better thing to do is evangelize to these people and say there's a better type of community, and you're kind of in the wrong one.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that like these people are exploiting that kind of, movement. I would make the other argument. I would say that because they're in their movement, they're a lot more susceptible to these things. Sexual degeneracy will sprout out in a lot of different ways. And if you are already, diverting from sexual norms, you are opening yourself up to these sorts of stuff. I mean, if you look at, the people that have heavy like pornography addictions, right? A lot of them start identifying as LGBT after a certain amount of time. And even after that, a lot of them start getting into a lot of weird stuff online. And part of that is that kind of, pedophilic type content. So a lot of these people who are just in the LGBT have that kind of,
predisposition.
Yeah, predisposition to get caught in something like that. So
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's gross.
I'll tell you the next thing I want to do. I did this with Audrey Hell, actually. So after she was the Nashville trans shooter, just in case. So after that happened, I went to a pride parade, and my entire video was revolving around, do you disavow her? People wouldn't say no.
Really?
So what I would like to do now is go back to Knoxville, have a return of Knoxville video, and basically the entire video be, do you disavow Joseph Brandon, the man that was in your community, standing front and center in Knoxville Pride? Do you disavow his actions? That's what I want to know. See how many people will say yes, or see how many people will either refuse or outright support him.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea for a video. I bet you nobody's going to say anything.
We'll see.
I don't know. I think some might, but I also think a lot will just walk away and Bo will get kicked out of the protest from whoever the higher-ups are. Yeah.
I don't think anyone will disavow him. I think they'll try and deflect and talk about something else.
Be like, well, we have to look at the core root of the issue.
Yeah. We're hanging out with Bodittle and Gabe, and you got another story. So that last story was Joseph Brandon, Eastern Tennessee man who was raided by the FBI. Mm-hmm. He was trying to sexually abuse young girls, and he's a repeat offender. There's another story that's a little bit closer to Nashville that you've been following.
Yes.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about that?
What's his name again?
The
Brandon.
Well, that was Joseph Brandon was the Knoxville guy.
Yeah, the Nashville trans.
Oh, hang on. I think it is Brandon. There's a middle school teacher.
Yeah.
Give the gist of the story.
Yeah, so this is a middle school teacher who just had to leave his other school that he was working at for reasons not yet known, trying to get to the root of that one. But he's currently working at a magnet school in Nashville. And he's now going viral online on conservative, conservative.
Benjamin Slinkard is his name.
Yes.
He's an employee for Metro Nashville Public Schools for the past 13 years. And he moonlights as his alter ego, Kennedy and Scott.
So let's call him Benjamin.
All right, so Benjamin Slinkard.
Yeah, Benjamin Slinkard. So now he's working at a magnet school, and he's going viral right now for posting very risque photos on his public account that any one of his students can find of him holding another grown man naked on a leash. And to make things worse, he's performing at this year's Nashville Pride on a public stage for children.
So if you're watching on the stream, I got a picture of the what Bo was just talking about. Just to be clear, it's the grown man dressed like Minnie Mouse that is the middle school teacher that will be performing this year at Nashville Pride.
Yes.
Not the guy on the leash, the one holding the leash. Does that make it better or worse?
I think that's a subjective question. I think, some people would say better, some people would say worse.
No, I mean, it's better.
Okay,
but
so
it's not good.
So how does Metro Nashville Public Schools get around hiring somebody like this and not doing like a slight social media check?
They can't. They literally can't nowadays. Like the amount of destruction that has happened in hiring systems all over the place is insane, especially through like the LGBT, even like race movements. I mean, you could have someone who like looted during BLM and they will be like, oh, well, it was like some social justice cause, and they won't, care about it on the application. I mean, like sane people like us, we would, if we ran a business, we would be like, yeah, no, you're like not working here, but they can't because they don't want to sound prejudiced or they don't want to sound racist or homophobic or whatever.
It's DEI essentially. If you're getting the job, and I would be willing to bet that part of the reason he got the job is because he was able to say he's LGBT, so that fulfills some of the DEI needs in the school. You can't go against his post online because that's just what he identifies as. That's going towards his DEI. So yeah, it's in a tough spot, but that's what woke gets you, where now your children that are innocent just going to a school are now getting exposed to this type of perverted behavior.
And this guy's name is Benjamin Slinkard. He's an educator for the past 15 years. Slinkard worked at May Worthen Shane Elementary School for 12 years, currently teaches at MIGS, M-E-I-G-S, MIGS Middle School.
Is it magnet school?
A Nashville magnet school.
Okay.
And he is a gifted and talented teacher, they say.
Oh, he's gifted, all right. I wouldn't say talented.
Like, I don't know why there aren't like people standing outside of this school protesting. I mean, maybe there are, but there should be. I mean, I think you should be fired.
It's sad right now. We're talking about this on air, but as we're talking, to think he's teaching kids right now.
He's teaching kids
as we speak.
Yeah.
It just shouldn't be okay.
Yeah, in an environment of let's just say 400 kids, he's exposed, promoting the propaganda, probably inviting people to his child-friendly drag show. Of course, kids are going to be interested enough to look online, and now they get to see a perverted teacher holding a naked man on a leash.
What grades does he teach? Do you know?
I think it said
5th through 8th, maybe?
Yeah. Just says middle school, so that'd be 5th through 8th.
If I were a student and I found that, I would be laughing and making fun of my teacher so bad.
I know, but things have changed.
I know, but
changed.
like now, like kids don't. A lot of young boys are.
But the thing about this guy is they'll say, well, he's not pushing that agenda on kids. That's his private, personal time. But you can look at his social media, and there's a picture of him from 2021 on Facebook where he poses in full drag with a 7-year-old boy who's also in full drag, and he introduces that child, the 7-year-old, as his little drag sister. And so, like, you can't make the argument that he's not pushing this ideology on kids.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Let's say that he's not promoting it at all. Me as a student, I know as soon as I had a new teacher, the first thing I did when I was younger was I would say, oh, I want to be friends with them. I'm going to follow them on Instagram or Facebook, what have you. So they are definitely looking up his social accounts.
Yep.
At the bare minimum, they know what he does. Let's say he doesn't talk about it. They still get to see their teacher dressed as Mickey Mouse holding a naked man by a leash.
I mean, and I'd argue that conservative parents are probably telling, their kids to stay away from him or to not talk to him, So I don't know. There should be more of an uproar from these parents, in my opinion. I don't know if there is.
Well, I mean, besides you guys and Tennessee Conservative and then this radio station, I don't know if anybody else is even covering this story.
Yeah.
Which is, it's like crazy to me. You have a middle school teacher in Nashville who's going to be performing at the Nashville Pride Festival at Centennial Park, and he's influencing children with this ideology.
How do you think you're going to get the child-friendly drag show to have children there. He's going to be talking about it at school.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I knew where this school was, this is just something I would do, is I would photocopy these. I would make a pile of pictures of just that and then just put it at the front desk of the office and be like, parents, pick up or whatever. Every time a parent walks in there, they can grab a piece of paper and see, oh my God, this is my teacher, or this is my student's teacher.
I'm sure a lot of the parents have no idea.
Yeah, and they should. They should all be aware. I mean, I would be cautious about like putting these photos up like on a wall or something, because obviously I wouldn't want to scar the children around that could be seeing it. But there has to be some sort of like online forum or Facebook group or something where, you know, the parents can find that.
Yeah, I mean, but some of these parents might be like, it's stunning and brave.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be gross.
I mean, it is Metro Nashville.
Yeah, and I don't know how you
is that. I'm new to like Nashville.
Well, any downtown big city, you're going to have statistically more of a liberal population.
Yeah, fair.
So, you know, if this was Cookeville as opposed to Nashville, you would have more uproar.
Yeah.
But Nashville, it voted blue.
So it's stunning and brave.
Yeah, basically.